So how are we going to get healthy when all of our small farms are just being forced out by larger businesses? I still try to shop with smaller companies if I can, buy from, organic companies. I've got this dog right here that, Lucy, what is it? Don't mind the mess on the back porch. I need to pack to get out of here. We're still trying to move. I've got these little dog treats that they're from Trader Joe's. So they're called Bocce's Bakery Bacon Nutty Soft and Chewy Peanut Butter Bacon Recipe. And I was thinking, when I first got my dog, here you go, girl. Oh, she smells something. You want a treat? All right, it'll be right here when you do. When I first got Lucy, I started making a bunch of treats on my own. Dog treats of all different types. And I made these ones with, it's just basic. Yeah, that's what I thought. There you go. Peanut butter and wheat. You probably shouldn't give them wheat. I don't think it was wheat. It was, like rice. I think there was some flour in it just for helping it, like, give some cookie texture. But some dogs can be allergic to things like that. But anyway, they were great treats. And then we would make her own food out of, my wife works at a restaurant. She would get free meat, and we'd cut that up and put it in with rice and veggies. The question is, what does the dog really need, I guess? I mean, they're meat eaters by nature, and then they eat some grass if they need it. But we've changed their diet as humans. That part's pretty weird by itself. Anyway. Oh, Luz. Oh, she got her treats now. So I was thinking about how hard it is to feed a dog. You go into the store, and there's a very low standard for dog food. And, everybody knows what canned dog food smells like, or cat food. We give our cat canned cat food. We try to give her good stuff, but why not just buy like canned fish, right? It's not even more expensive, honestly, depending on what you buy and where you buy it. But this isn't about dogs, it's about people. I mean, it's one thing to feed our dogs good food. And the funny irony is that often people actually feed their dogs better than they feed themselves. B for better. There you go. You want it? There you go. You got it. We treat ourselves like shit, and we eat junk food. We go to fast food restaurants, or even going out to eat at lunch. A sit-down restaurant can be, all the shit's brought to you by Cisco, and that's cool. My wife works in that industry. It's not that bad. I mean, it's just a lot of frozen food brought in. A lot of it's the same for different restaurants. It's kind of a uniformity of quality, consistency, and I get that. And it's not necessarily unhealthy to eat out, but the way that we eat as a general society is horrendous. That's the last treat I got. That's it. And I'm part of the problem. I'm not going to sit here and say, I eat organic and I eat healthy and I only buy from the farmer's market, because I don't. I still eat meat. I still buy from Fred Meyer or Kroger, whatever, and Winco, and I buy what I can afford. I buy what I can, what sounds good. I try. We do a lot of shopping at Costco, and fortunately they do have decent food there. But you've got to be selective about what you buy these days. And even when you buy something that is organic and, from a family farm, you find out it's owned by like a conglomerate, and that it's all just kind of a joke now. I've read a lot of articles over the years about family farms that are getting forced out by regulations, difficulties with water rights, different, even especially small farms, because you can have a certain amount of water for personal use, but if you use a lot of water, they can, claim your commercial farm and then, you know, charge you a bunch of money. And a bunch of smaller farms that really care about what they do get forced out because it's always the young guys, the young businesses that really, a lot of them have a lot of love in what they do. They have a good intention, especially starting a farm these days. And to be forced out by some bullshit regulation, I think, is a major problem because we need good food back. And if we keep relying on these multinational conglomerates and, the Bill Gatesification of the world, and it's not that he's the biggest problem, it's that he is a billionaire buying up farmland, right? The question is he turning it over to multinational corporations, Monsanto, or is he actually, leasing it out to small farmers and allowing them to grow freely and organically without worrying about seeds blowing into their pasture and getting sued because it, is a patented seed? It's one of the most absurd things that humans let happen, which was allowing seeds to be patented. That should have never been allowed to take place because we know that seeds, I know all about Terminator seeds, which are supposed to die after one generation, but life finds a way, right? So there will be some seeds that will breed outside of their intended target zone. And, we have been tampering with nature for a long time. But when it comes to the food supply, it's like absurd to me that anybody could have any say over what can be grown or not grown. I think that farmers, and especially small farmers, should be some of the most protected people in our society. It's like in every other, travesty in a country, it's been the government taking over small farms, just like, Mao in China, or, or what they did in Russia, in the 1900s, where they had, fuck, dude, millions of people died because the government took over the farms and couldn't manage them. It's like, it's the same thing happening, but we're turning it over to multinational corporations that can make a quick dollar as long as they're growing monoculture, one crop. But the minute some sort of a blight, disease, fungus, bacteria hits, you lose it all. That's the thing. If you grow a variable garden, with different plants, different species, you don't end up with what you have with like bananas, which, like the Cavendish, I think that's the current one we have. It's the last banana. There was another species that we used to have. It was a different, my parents ate different bananas, right? And then those all died out from, an infection. And so now we're down to like one type of banana. And by the way, bananas are fascinating. Look into the genetics of the banana tree. And some people think they came from another planet. I think that's hilarious, but it's a funny story, so look into it. So bananas, lots of other crops are like that. A lot of, people who grow potatoes, it's all one type of potato. At least a potato blight would only kill some if you didn't have all the same kind of potato. So we just hope that our food system keeps functioning, I guess. And I would recommend people learn how to farm and garden and grow their own food. I mean, I'm no pro at it. I've never done ranching or, having my own goats or chickens or anything, but I want to. And when my family moves, hopefully this summer, that's what we want to do. I have grown a lot of plants and a lot of gardens, so I'm hoping to have a nice fat property where I can grow a lot of corn and maybe even hops and wheat, brew my own beer. It feels good to do your own thing, and eating natural food that you've grown. It's a special thing. We've kind of lost touch with that, so I guess that's my rant about food and gardening. So I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for coming along. God dang, it's a beautiful day. It really is. Let's see this, man. I do love my backyard, even though I'll be moving. I don't take it for granted that I have all this beauty and peace and quiet, for the most part. There's still a lot of work to do, though. This cedar tree right here I planted, looks like it's about, 30 feet tall. I planted this, it was like maybe 18 inches or something, and it was, I got it as a bonsai, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I might have stolen it when I was drunk and like 20 something, and I was being stupid, and I jumped a fence, and I went into this nursery, and I took a bunch of plants, and I felt guilty about it. I've done my penance, but I think this was one of the trees, along with this Japanese maple over here, which I planted, which is funny enough, there was one when we moved in that the guy was going to come get, but it died. So, I don't know. This one is the one that I had in a small pot like 22 years ago. And it's just kind of grown slightly, along with all this crappy bamboo. I want to tell you, don't ever put bamboo in. It spreads like wildfire. And this is our pond, and I'm going to have to spread the liner out, repair the hole, and then going to have to fix the pond, because that's what I said I was going to do. Get my kid to help me try to get it done. Over here we've got the strawberries and the raspberries. Here's the strawberries. I mean, there's quite a few, but I haven't fertilized. And then here's some of the raspberries, and here's some over here, a whole bunch. These ones always bloom first. So you can see it'll be a few weeks at least before they start ripening. But once they do, I love raspberries. And we're going to get this place up for sale. And I cannot wait to take you guys with me on my journey to my new house when I finally get it. Because it's going to be dope. I've recorded a couple of journeys, but they weren't successful. They weren't houses we wanted. It's hard because we only have limited money to spend. We still have to sell our house on a contingency. I still have to do the floor. I still have to do the roof. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but we'll get it done. See you next time. Peace out.